Aloha, Mother Fathers. Welcome into another edition of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Broadcasting live, but not really, across all the different media platforms, be it visual, of course, over on the YouTube for the full episode, clips obviously scattered throughout social media, and the audio versions. We'll show you the slide in a second where you can give us a follow. Again, Kyle Cornell, AA, Anthony Alford with you as always. And normally we're very jubilant. We're excited to talk pro wrestling. When we start this thing off, AA, but we did have a loss in the pro wrestling family. As controversial as he was, Hulk Hogan has passed away. The news broke officially yesterday. TMZ was the first, so you always had to double check and make sure it wasn't bullshit. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say, I think TMZ will have my death before I know, before I go. Yes, I think TMZ.
It's a bunch of clairvoyants,
Oh man. It is scary. It's like, oh, we got to check TMZ, and then they have it, and no, that's true.
Yeah. So this was the news that came out in our universe, so to speak, yesterday. 72,
71,
turning 72 this year. Cardiac arrest was the issue. You're finding a lot of people. There's obviously a lot of joking going on and stuff too, and all that. But on a serious note, it's a lot of people that are torn. This is a man who's obviously on a lot of people's Mount Rushmores. He's, one of, if not the reason why WWE became mainstream back in the 80s. He brought this essentially public, not really public as far as being sold on the stock market, but people really didn't really pay attention nationally or go national. WWE didn't until that guy was around. But also kind of an asshole, if I'm just going to be honest with you. Really kind of a dick to the boys and to his fellow wrestlers. And obviously we've joked about the Jesse Ventura stuff and the union and, snarking to Vince on that and that kind of getting kiboshed pretty quick. Jesse still doesn't like him for all that stuff, thinks he's a snake. Obviously there's a lot of other great wrestlers, Bret Hart, a couple of them that don't like Hulk at all. They think he thought he was a snake. And obviously that's not even mentioning what he said and what he admitted to saying, now over a decade ago. And the type of person that can do and say stuff like that. So, there's a reason why he wasn't in my top 10 of pro wrestlers of all time, acknowledging his impact, but also just, there are things that just make you just go yuck when you see a picture of Hulk. I really don't care if it's unsensitive. I feel for his family, of course, but at the same point, I wasn't sad. People were like, "Oh, how are we going to move on with our lives?" Because everyone's over dramatic about every death when you've never met the person, But they're a celebrity, so we must care, right? To be honest with you, I don't really care that much. I understand it, I get it. For people, especially that were in the generation before us, that grew up with Hulk Hogan and they had a visual in him and they saw what happened recently, but didn't really care because it was him. I get it, but. Yeah, I don't really care that much, but I mean,
after my remarks, we move on with this show. I'm just gonna say this first of all, condolences, of course, to his family, friends, anyone who's worked with him, anybody who's known him. Of course, you talk about death. That's, obviously prayers and all of that because it's a tough thing. The one area where I will disagree with my co-host. I don't think his legacy is complicated at all. I think he is one of the most impactful pro wrestlers of all time. You cannot argue the impact that he has had in our industry and what we cover. You can't argue that at all. There are other things that has happened behind the scenes that we have talked on this show extensively about, where he was not a likable guy. But he's a self-admitted racist. He hated me because considering that for 5 years, I was in a relationship, in an interracial relationship. I don't think the man liked that. To put a bow on what he said, it was revealed in a tape 10 years ago. And he publicly admitted this 10 years ago yesterday. His daughter, Brooke Hogan, he learned that she was dating a black guy, a black man. And according to a transcript that was obtained and published by Radar Online, the National Enquirer at the time, Hulk Hogan said and was recorded in saying, I mean, I'd rather if she was going to F some N-word with the hard R at the end, I'd rather have her marry a 8-foot tall N-word worth $100 million. Like a basketball player, I guess we're all a little racist, effing N-word. He said it. He admitted it. Said it with pride. Never apologized for it. There's a reason why in this show we never talked about him, unless it's within the context of pro wrestling in itself. There's a reason why in this show, he had an event coming up in a month. We never entertained the thought of having him on this show. He did a tour here a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
We never once entertained a thought of having him on this show. We're not the end-all, be-all as far as morals and standards and things of that nature. But when you go out of your way to flat out not just disrespect, but put down other people, the legacy's not complicated at all. It ain't. What he did in front of the audience, respect. It happened. He did it. He put this profession on the map. But what he did behind the scenes, not a good guy. And the way he referred to people who look like me, good luck. Again, condolences to his family, his friends, anyone who knew him, anyone who worked with him, all of that. But after this, unless we treat him like we treat Chris Benoit on this show, if it's within the framework of pro wrestling and what has happened, we'll bring him up.
No, Chris Benoit had CTE. He had like actual mental health and health issues that he couldn't control his behavior. I'm not trying to justify what he did, obviously, but like there is a medical reason for why he did the acts he did, and he's still a monster for it. But there is a literal factual reason. Hulk Hogan's just an asshole.
The point is this: after these next couple seconds, unless it's relevant, this will be the last time we address this man on this show. We move on. Follow us on social media across all platforms, audio and video. And, of course, that's how you can follow us here on this show. Got a lot to break down in the world of pro wrestling this week.
I know you're excited for the rest of it. I have to start off with this bullshit at the top. So I go from somber to who gives a shit. This is fantastic.
So,
God.
For our audio listeners, Kyle's going to talk about Hangman and Jon Moxley. They're going to have their rematch coming up next week.
I got a great analogy for you guys you're going to love. So
the promo of the week, Roman Reigns, OTC. We'll, of course, react to Cena and Cody. Maybe not. Maybe we're stretching. Could you see a double turn in SummerSlam? Maybe. We'll talk about it. Trick Williams and The Undertaker on NXT. And we'll end the day with the hardest working man in pro wrestling, AJ Styles.
Listen, talk about people getting deported with ICE. Because, we're touching every sensitive topic today. AJ Styles swoop up those jobs real quick.
Hey, you know what? Kudos to AJ. New Day should be thanking AJ Styles. He said, look, this floor's wet. You don't want to get hurt.
Don't want you to slip.
Don't want you to slip.
Yeah. Safety first.
Again, of course, our show brought to you by Dubby Energy. Of course, you can see the promo code on the bottom right corner of the screen. Again, use the promo code SHWP10. Healthy energy drinks. And, of course, a sample pack. All that good stuff.
Jitterless. Yeah, so if you drink like 10 cups of coffee a day or if you're pounding Red Bulls, this is an opportunity to have something that's more natural and it's not going to make you all fidgety, and maybe you'll be able to go to sleep at night instead of staying up for 4 straight days.
Or look, want to get a good workout in? Mix it up there. All you got to do, get 8 to 12 ounces. I like, personally, the 12 ounces. Get the full pack. Put it in a water bottle. Mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
You're in good shape, man.
In great shape.
You're in great shape. A lot of great flavors. I actually tried the Blue Tropical Punch this week.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the Blue Ras was good, and it is. Oh, my goodness. Again, promo code SHWP10. You get 10% off if you go to w.gg, get your orders. So I want to, before you go, I want to put a spin to this a little bit here. So we're talking Hangman Page, Jon Moxley. They had their main event at AEW All In, Texas, AEW's version of WrestleMania, and they're going to rematch next week on AEW Dynamite live from Playhouse Square in Chicago. Now, to put a frame of reference, I was trying to think back the last time an immediate WrestleMania main event happened on a Raw or SmackDown before the next pay-per-view. And the one match I thought of, it happened a long time ago, but it happened, and it was actually a classic. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels. This was back in 2007.
God.
After WrestleMania 23, they had what turned into an hour-long, I believe, no contest in London. It wasn't advertised as a Iron Man match or anything, but they went a full hour. And it was Shawn Michaels. It was John Cena at that point, his best match of his career. But the point is, other than that, you may get WrestleMania rematches, but they don't happen until like a year later if it's on a normal show. And if it happens on a paper, if it happens on a following pay-per-view.
Can you imagine if after Cody beat Roman for the Undisputed Championship and the Avengers assembled and they all helped and it was this crazy finish. It was something we were waiting for years.
The power goes out.
Thanks for the light, buddy. I appreciate it.
Hogan shut down the show.
I heard you were talking about me, brother. So you're probably wondering why we have a 12-minute podcast this week. Say hi. So the power went out at our studios. Not the best, obviously. So we're outside on the roof right now, just hanging out. So when you see this episode, probably really early Friday morning,
or Thursday night at this rate.
Honestly, we'll see what happens. It's going to be really quick to upload. It's a little different. So this will end up being kind of a bit of a bye week for us. I didn't get a chance to, but I'll apologize, folks, for not doing reacts. I was dead tired. Anthony held it down for us, but yeah. So no full podcast this week.
Oh, this is perfect. So this is why you need Mike from State Farm, because this is a four-way stop, and people don't know how to handle four-way stops. So if something happens, you want to be secure. You want to be locked in. And Mike Faber from State Farm, he's going to hold you down in case somebody makes a mistake on these four-way stops.
And let's be honest, it's Parma, so they probably will. Yeah, also, can't help but wonder if the ghost of Hulk Hogan did all this. We were talking shit about him, and we were going to be done talking about him. Then he made us talk about him more. So,
yeah.
Thanks. Rest in whatever you consider to be paradise, you son of a bitch. But, hey, we'll see you guys next week. You'll still see our reacts.
Real quick, shout out to Megan. She uploaded a new video for us, the old Mega video marketing. So, Megan did a great job with that. So, take a look at that. Really good stuff.
Yeah, especially
people don't know how to
they
handle
don't.
four-way
It's
stops.
fucking insane. But yeah, especially because you don't have a full episode this week to watch, or listen to. So enjoy it. We'll catch you guys next week. We'll see you on Reacts 2.
See ya.
Yeah, he's walking in. I'm walking in. We're done with this crap. We'll see you guys next week. Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast out.